Hi there, and welcome back to Learn Excel with Ramon. This is our lesson 5 of our series, The Very Basics. In this lesson, I'm going to simply show you how to format a spreadsheet. So we're not going to do any calculations in this lesson. I just wanted to explore a little bit of the formatting menu and just share with you the types of things that you can do with a spreadsheet, especially if you're going to copy and paste this spreadsheet into, say, a PowerPoint slide, or make it a PDF, or put it in a Word document for a report or something. I just wanted to share with you a little bit of how to make it look a little prettier. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that same spreadsheet that we've been working with, that groceries list from lesson 1. As I said, I'm kind of building the concepts on that spreadsheet. So this is what we had before. Now, before I start, there's a lot of personal preferences here. The color scheme, the way you want to see the data, the size of the font, the type of the font. So I'm going to do what I think looks okay in my eyes, but obviously it's a choice that you are going to make. Or sometimes it's even a requirement. Sometimes a report would call for a certain color coding or whatever. So I'll show you the tools, show you the basics, and you can play with it. So I'm going to start by inserting 2 rows at the top here because I wanted to give this table a title. So if I simply select the first 2 rows, rows number 1 and 2, and then after I selected it, I can actually click with the right button of the mouse on top of that little corner there. It has to be on top of those numbers there. And then you want to go to Insert. So I'm just inserting 2 new rows right at the top of my table. So I did this because I wanted to give this table a title. So I'm going to type there, say groceries, let's call it Ramon's groceries list, and that's enough. Let's just call it that. And what I wanted to do now, and this is the first little thing I'm going to show you here in terms of formatting, I want this title to go over the entire table and be perfectly centered. So I'm going to select that cell there that I actually typed in Ramon's groceries list. I'm just going to click select and then drag it across to the right. And then I'm going to go to this button here, merge and center. Merged and center. So it's going to merge the cells I selected and center it. So it became one cell. I can make this font bigger, as I've shown you before in the other lessons. I'm just going to kind of click on that A there, going up, and give it a little bit of a title look. And then what I want to do next is I wanted to put some coloring, some backfill in this title here. So I'm just going to go ahead here on this button that we've played with it before, but just again the fill color, and I'm going to pick here a very light little orangey yellow, very gentle. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is I wanted to indent these items, this list a little bit. I don't want it too close to the line there. So I'm just going to select the entire section here, all of the information I have in column A, and then I'm going to use this button here that says increase indent. There we go. So again, it was just too close to the line, just for visual purposes. I just kind of indented to the right a little bit. I'm going to also centralize the quantity column. So again, I select what I want, and then I'm going to use the alignment, this one here, the center alignment. Click once. It also looks a little better. I'm going to keep this alone. I'm going to keep the rest here alone. I want to have the 3 columns, for example, the unit price, the total price, and the taxes, the same width. just again for aesthetics, I'm just going to select the 3 columns there. And if I select by clicking on the letters, it's going to select the entire column. So again, I'm just going to do it again. I simply clicked on the D when you see the arrow pointed down there. D, E, F. And I can see right now, if I click in any of the dividers there, I can see that I have a width of 8.82. I'm going to click with the right button, and my columns are still selected, and then I'm going to go to column width, and I'm just going to say make it perfectly 10 for the 3 columns. So there you go. It simply spaced them out evenly, and it looks, again, it's just a visual thing, it looks a little better. The texts, however, I don't need that column to be this width. As an example, let's say I change my mind. Again, if you go and click right in between the 2 columns there, the dividers, you can auto fit for the width of the cell. What else can we do here? I also wanted to say break this apart. This total line, I wanted to have a spacing there. So again, if I click with the right button here, right in the corner there, over the number, I think it's 15, and if you insert, it just inserted a line. Again, I'm just going to keep it clean, separate it, and then again I can select all the cells at the bottom and say a little bit of backfill there as well, light green. And now you can see that my spreadsheet, my very boring, just black and white spreadsheet, it's coming to, it's looking a little better. The other thing that I like doing once I have like the basics done, you have this option of not viewing the grid line in behind. So you can go to View, the View option here, and you can go to Grid Lines and uncheck that box there. So what it does, it's a very nice clean white background, especially if you're going to again copy and paste this into a PowerPoint presentation or a Word document. It's just cleaner and it looks a little better. So those are the very basics. Most of these formatting tools are here on the home menu. You can make, for example, the headings. If you select them all here, you can make them italics. It's another thing you can do. Bold, italic, underline. You can also work with the border. So let's say that I want to see this entire table in the middle here. I'm going to select the entire table, and I'm going to see to this, I'm going to go to this option here, more borders. And let's go into the more borders here. That gives me kind of a look of everything I can do. And let's say that for the rows I want this type of line. So I simply picked the style and I clicked inside the box. And for the columns I want a solid line. And for the box overall, the outside, I want this thicker style here for the outline. So you can see here, preview what's going to happen. If you hit OK, there you have it. Again, you're just working with the visuals, just making your list and formatting things here and there. So the alignment box has quite a bit of functions there, and then you have the overall formatting, the color of the font, for example, select what you want. And then you go to this little font color option here. Let's say I wanted this color. Again, you can play with it. The point is you can format this the way that you like for a better presentation if this is going somewhere else. Excel is very flexible with this. You can basically do what you want once you have your calculations done. And anything you do here, if you add in rows, add in columns, it doesn't change the calculations at all, of course. Everything is still properly indexed. So this lesson, again, just a little bit of formatting here and there, just to start to get used to what you can do. I hope you've learned something here today, and I hope to see you in the next lesson.